Good morning, everybody. Right? Hope just enjoying the experience of startup weekend online editions for COVID-19 challenge. Again, warm welcome, great morning boost for all of us. With again the limitations of facilitating technologically. And first of all, very happy, very proud that about of engagement that we saw last night in Discord. There was like very good enthusiasm, very good engagement between teams, and I think that was really entertaining to see. And thanks to all the mentors who were around, even in late nights around Discord, supporting all the participants to go live and great. And the teams are being formed, and wonderful engagement, the way they how it being brought up great. Okay. What is in it for today? Right. So I'm gonna just give a little few more minutes for all the participants to join from Discord to the live session that we are doing right now, so that to go. So I'll give a minute more, and then we'll start around how we are gonna go about. Right. Great. Yes. Awesome. We uh, we all live and good. Okay. Here we come for Saturday, right? So again, good morning to all of you, right? So we're gonna give it a very great and a very good start. Thank you very much for engagement again, all of the mentors and the great participants who was around Discord, right? Okay, what are we gonna see today? What is in it for us today, right? Let's have a quick look about what is in it for us today. So we're going to have something on build your lean canvas workshop, so which we are going to head into, right? So we'll do it little different. You have set of videos and a worksheets to do. So I'm going to take you through a very quick guide on what is the lean canvas we're going to look at and how, and then going to give you a lot of time for you to reflect and fill yours while you are going to be with mentors. So please make the best out of it. I'm just going to give you a quick run through, and then you will be taken with mentors soon after the session days, right? So all the mentors are live and ready to support you. Please make use of it, right? Okay, so let's get going on what we need to get on Lean Canvas. Yes, sorry about it, guys. Right? Yes, my guys, can you help me getting the slides also on? Yes, great. Right, startup ideas and validation. So, what is validation? What is startup ideas? So, I know you have 19 ideas selected, the 19 ideas which has been streamed and which the teams are being formed. Right now, it's all about validating. So, today it's completely all about validation, what to be validated, how to be validated. And as I told you, a kind reminder. So, please speak to all your mentors about validation and also understand how you can validate in social media or in virtual community. So EPFS has already extended the support of going and getting this done. Right? Good. Okay, let's dive in. So, guys, a very small activity, high activity, or just a boost up. All right. Yes. Hope I see all the comments on it. All good. Really good. Okay, I'm going to give you a very small activity so that guys, can you all draw me a fish, right? So you're gonna draw me a fish and take a photo of it and keep your photo, right? And once the session is done, please post it on icebreaker of hold a second, right? Icebreaker icebreaker channel, right? Okay, great. Let me get there. So quickly, the agenda for today will be that we started the 10 a.m. that I'm with you, right? And from 10:30 we start on validation and business model, which you are just starting right away. And 11:30 to 12:30 we will be on a mentor session, right? And it's all about teamwork. And 12:30 onwards, if you have any issues and outstanding team needs, just task call to get it sorted. From there, it's all teamwork. And 5 p.m., you will have a live session on prototype and MVP from Anjana. Myself and Anjana will join to give you a quick intro on it. And then 6 p.m., 2 hours of mentorship session, right? And 8 team check-in and judging criteria. And 9:30 onwards team work. So I'll just come back to this after this session, but just giving you a heads up. Let's work towards this. Right. I hope all of you can draw me a fish now, right away. Yeah, please. And you can post it on comment or fish, not a pitch, right? Okay, Krista was like, got it this as a pitch. No, FISH fish. Draw me a fish, right? Yeah. Again, virtually versus physical sessions, right? So hope you have drawn the fish and please take a step on it. You're not going to change. It's all with understanding that you're going to post back into Discord. And remember one thing. Yes, fish. Ishakzi, I'm correct. I'm talking about draw me a fish, right? So make sure that you are posting this on Discord. Again, remember one thing: $500 and active engagement in Discord. And Malua, correct. So Malua Kadimo, right? Mino Duarevo. Cool. Draw a fish. So hope you have drawn a fish. And so how many of you have drawn a fish very close to this? You can just say yes or no and comment. This makes sure, guys, like we are activated in the morning, right? So we are activated in the morning. We should be activated in the morning, right? Towards a great. Today is your day, right? Done and driven, captured. Good, Dafra. Thank you very much. Right. So probably most of you would have drawn a fish close to this, or at least in lining with this fish, right? Not even close. Okay. Now, why did we go into draw a fish like of that sort? So, isn't it not a fish? Like it is a fish as well, right? Starfish, right? How many oceanic film and how many like different amount of film we would have seen, right? But why we didn't get any of this fish to be drawn, right? So this is basically this fish. Where did we first learn to draw the fish which is on red highlight or which is on confine thinking, right? Yes, right. Okay, cool. So where did we learn this? Right? Probably in our early Montessori preschool, or probably when we are like scribbling around, right? So from drawing this fish to now, a lot of things has changed, right? So probably we are still thinking on that. And I know most of you would have been like much advanced in generally, right? So it's about validation. So if you are thinking about a fish as a solution, right? And if you are thinking of fish as a solution, what is out there is validated, what is there in the market, how people are perceiving, right? All this makes a lot of sense. So this is just a brain freezer about before we're going into the validation of it. Just want to get you in line, right? Okay, again, I'm not going to take too long on it. So do you know what's the connection between Thomas Alva Edison and light bulb? Great, great. A lot of preschool school. So I think there's a small lag versus live, which we go as I speak versus what you're getting. So I'll keep that particular momentum when I ask and raise questions, right? I think I should do that. So yeah, what is the connection between Thomas Alva Edison and light bulb. Okay, he didn't invent it apparently. Okay, right. Okay, so right, and again with Isaac Newton and Apple, right? So like what has Apple has to do with Isaac Newton, right? So most of us feel it as a gravity, right? So we say we connect Isaac Newton and Apple together, right? But and in terms of bringing gravity also in place, right? But what's the reality, right? What inspired him? Did an Apple? So imagine that you and me are just sitting somewhere, right? So thinking about something, and Apple falls into our head. Would we go back to the laboratory and start saying about why did it fall back? What is gravitational force, right? Did would we thinking about it, right? How can an apple inspire us, right? What would we do with an apple, right? So that's the basic reason behind all this. So that is basically a apple didn't hit Newton. He studied gravity for 20 years. So basically, what you invent, what you want to involve with, has to have a some sort of direct involvement of your skill, right? So there has to be a direct involvement. So basically, you could be a business analyst, software engineer. You want to become a person, and that you are in line with this particular solution. So apart from capital investment or that your investment capabilities, what is in it for you and the idea that you are working? Is it knowledge? Is it passion? Is it skill? Right? What you can? Yes, of course. Right? We can eat it. Uh, so the connection between that, right? So you have to have. So this is what will make much more reality in terms of validation. Why you are doing this, right? And that's absolutely okay that you don't know anything about it. That's the whole purpose of experiential learning of entrepreneurship, right? But have that appetite, right? It's not about having water, right, before drinking. It's about having thirst. So when you have the thirst, definitely you'll figure out the water, right? So before you're drinking, what you want is not the water, it's the thirst, right? So have that thirst. I know you all of you are very passionate and very happy to see last night in Discord how engaging you were. And the same, Edison did not invent the light bulb, so he was about affordable filament, right? So it took about close to a decade or 10 years to be commercialized, right? So in validation, what is very very important is, and number one cause of failure is no market need, right? So it's definitely no market need would definitely take for cause of failure, right? So to understand where is the market need, so this is where your lean canvas will step towards. So before just explaining these are the portions of lean canvas, as I told you, I'm just going to finish it in uh, less than 30 minutes of this session, because I believe I need to give more time for you to reflect and engage with your mentors so that this can be really made much better, right? Okay, so number one cause of failure is no market need. Let's understand the market need, right? So it's definitely easy to find something that sounds like a problem, but it might not be a problem, right? So this is again to do with validation, right? Okay, you think this is a problem, but can you go out and validate how many of them are facing this problem, right? So as I usually say, right, first, if you think there's a problem that you want to solve, first thing before solution is go and validate the problem, not the solution, right? Yes, validating solution is a business model, right? But what is very important is validate your problem, right? Which is very basic. Is it the real problem, or do we have to pivot the problem? And this is where your mentors will play a major role. Discuss with them, right? Take your problem first. What are you trying to solve? The problem that you identified in verticals that we discussed yesterday: health, entertainment, community, right, education, right? uh, all these, an unseen problem, unseen vertical. Discuss about this with your mentors, and I'm pretty sure the mentor panel is very really equipped with what they can help with, right? I know almost 99% of the mentors I have personally interacted, they are very good about what is happening these days, right? So, okay, I know there's a lag in what I stream versus where you interact. So I'm going to give a little more time on this. How many customers do you need to be successful? Or rather, I'll change this question to this, right? Sorry. Okay, good. You would have got it, right? So tell me how much money you want to make, or how much, what is your target of being successful, right? How many customers or how much of money you want to make? Would you please type it on your comment? So I need this many customers for me to feel successful. I want to make this much of money to be successful, right? I'm expecting some comments on it, so that I can understand what is your anticipation, what are you looking at. Right. Okay. I'm start getting it right. Cool. Little more, perhaps just enough to survive, and little more, right? Okay, very interesting. To have 100 customers by 2023. Okay, so Rashmi wanted to have 100 customers by 2023, and Tyrant wanted to have just enough to survive and little more. It's very subjective. In terms of number of customers, it depends on the product. So again, I'm reflecting to your product, right? Whatever you are planning to work on this startup weekend, or related to your concept, related to your business, just again a reflection. I would say success is a constant flow of money and reliably earning from the customers. Good, very interesting, right? Very interesting. Cool. Yes, but again, this is all subjective. If you want to quantify to cover up the running cost, so basically for you, the for Nimanka Pereira, the success is all about break even, right? The moment you can cover your running cost and top of it, right? And like Yal Talk is a few satisfied and attracted customers, they will recommend it to us. So Yal Talk is looking at very referential or influential business model within it, level to run the business. Okay, awesome guys. I'm just going to move on. Thank you very much. So imagine you want to make $1 billion revenue in some day. Okay, guys, this is very, I'm just going to quantify this in a very basic level. This is not how exactly the business works, but in terms of validation, in terms of understanding the basic numbers, I'm doing this exercise. Uh, like I know it's live and public, so that I'm making this as a mention, so that this is in related to subject of what we are doing as a experiential learning in startup weekend, right? So what I want you all to understand is how much of money that you want to make in revenue, right? In dollars, $1 billion, for example, right? Let's look at some brand who is doing it, right? And just the science is very simple. So the science would be like, if you want to have, if your say product is $1, basically you need to sell it to 1 billion people. So 1/7 of the population, probably Coca-Cola is doing it, right? So $1, and you have to sell it to 1 billion. And then if you go a little deeper, yes, you need to sell it for 1 billion customers. And can there be repeating customers? Of course, yes. And what is the frequency of the customers? So then how many unique customers you need, and how many loyal customers you need, and different segment of customers, right? So this is where when you get deep into your customer segments, right? To bring this 1 billion, what are the composition it comes from? Then imagine you are a $10 product. So all what you need is 100 million. Now let's say household products. So just let's say a soap, right? Uh, Definitely soap is not $10, but on like global market, let's say one of the household product is $10. How long you can use it? What is the lifetime of it? Right, right. What is the lifetime of it? How it can be worked, right? And how many customers? Again, with $100, right? If you are on a World of Warcraft, and if you're on laptops, which is $1,000. So this science keep going. So if you divide, your price can questions. Yes, yes, please. Uh, Christo, please go ahead and comment your questions. We'll definitely get it answered. That's the whole purpose of it, right? So this is a basic science how it could be done, right? Okay, right. So now with that, what we need to understand is product and your market fit, right? Which you call it product market fit. This is fundamental and basic to go into your lean canvas. Now imagine the car park that you see there. So the red color car which is parked there. So the space you have is the market and your product is your vehicle or the car that you have produced, right? Now there can be two ways to look at it, right? Now you know the market. If you know where you're going to park your vehicle, right, you can design it accordingly. Now probably unless if it is an expert driver, you can't park the car like this on a one single take, right? You need to go measure, okay, just take front, back, and make it align, and make sure that it is not passing the white line, so the cops doesn't come and give you a ticket, right? So it will take some time. So which you call it trial and error method, right? So that's exactly what we're going to do it. So you have some product in mind, and there's a market out there which we assume, which we are completely on assumption. We are going to validate that. Imagine if this spot is, imagine your product that you have in your mind is a 4x4, right? Not a hatchback, right? Probably this is not the spot. This is not the spot that you need to park. Does it mean that you have to go and reverse engineer a product if your skill is to make a 4x4 unique value proposition vehicle? Let's go and explore the market which it can be parked, which it can be consumed, right? So very basic. It is basically to understand what are your core skills and what are your strengths, what you can produce, versus is there a demand for it out there? Is there a market for it out there? So can your vehicle be parked? And when you come to sustainability, how long have you to drive your vehicle by yourself before parking? That is your sustainability, your runway, right? So this is to understand, okay, you will be getting this validated with your team as well, the mentors as well. Okay, Christop's question is how would quantitation decide the successful company and entrepreneur really is? Okay, you see, quantitation or quantifying. So basically, to understand your numbers, so that's what we mean, right? So understand your numbers. What is your cost? What is your revenue? And we call it pricing strategy, right? So your mentors will help you a lot. Especially, most of your mentors are entrepreneurs by themselves. They have the experience of pricing going right, pricing going wrong, the market-driven price, product-driven price, or product market-driven price, demand-driven price, right? So demand driven supply to data driven supply. So there's all these things play. So that is why I want you to pick the brains of your mentors, right? Okay. Now this will be covered by Anjana towards the evening. But if you are building a product, how do you build your product? Is basically the if you want to create a car, what is your MVP, minimum viable product, is from your stage number one or release number one, you should be able to serve the purpose. But of course, there's be a lot of compromising experience, right? From a skateboard to a vehicle, but not what you create a tire and then put a junction and just create on. Only at the third or fourth stage, you can get the vehicle moving or your engine was started being tested, right? So there's a lot of time and money in between that. So that's why we are trying to shrink in terms of what is your minimum viable product. So basically a product which can be put out in terms of the functionality can be usable functionality. So this is like combination, guys, right? So you combine certain features together, which has its meaning and also considered as a minimum viable product, which can be improved, right? So this is you call these versions, releases, right? Or cool. So no more waiting. So wait is over. So let's begin to lean canvas. So right now what I have done is to make sure why you should pay attention towards lean canvas. I'm just going to drive you through all the 9 sections and we are going to give a link out there in Discord. where your team has to go and do it as a teamwork, right? Yes, usable functionality, right? Okay. And okay, just a very quick note. Just because we do the lean canvas, it doesn't mean that we know the eagle weave or bird weave or 360 weave of the idea, right? It's just a framework to have a little more better understanding, right? So there are multiple frameworks, right? From lean canvas to business model canvas to business innovation canvas, sustainable canvas. So there are a lot of canvases framework which could be used. So this is one of the canvas that we used as a primary stage to understand towards the idea. Great. Okay. Right. So this is exactly the break of the lean canvas, right? Business lean canvas. You divide this into product and market, right? So we start with customer segment and we understand what is the customer target markets you are looking at, who are early adopters, right? And list the characteristic of your ideal customers. Now, for example, if I'm in the business of virtual education, right? What is the difference between my consumer and customer, right? So my consumers are people who buys or uses the end product. So most of depending on your product vertical and your product criteria or product target market, your consumer can be your customer also. So basically, when it comes to higher education, hold a second, guys. Hold. Sorry about it. Okay, sorry about it, guys. Right uh, now, the product and the market, right? So, customer segment, you need to understand who is your consumer and who is your customer. So, just a very quick example. In my case, there will be, or when I work with higher education institutes or higher education providers on virtual facilitation, my customer and consumer high chance to be the same person who is earning will pay and improve get his knowledge further. When it comes to school education, from curve up point of view, the customer would be a parent, consumer would be a kid, right? So now I have to make sure my pricing strategy is such that my customer and the target market affordability and the purchasing power is all met on what I'm pitching, and also the experience wise, product wise, consumer is happy to consume further, so that I have multiple instances of selling, right? So this is very important when it comes to customer segment. And then what's the exact problem that you are solving? Okay, if you take virtual education, is it am I solving the problem of accessibility of the education? No, there's expert resources only limited in certain physical areas or geographical areas. Am I gonna bring them into virtual environment and make them like multiply accessible? Or am I giving a very cost-effective education, right? Uh, and or else am I giving a very engaging content driven or consumer driven education, right? So what are the problem that I'm solving, right? Is it a price factor, is it a quality factor, is it a time factor, convenience factor? What's the problem, right? When you take in terms of COVID-19, right, when you take you on a health vertical, right, what is the health problem I solving? Are you supporting a health support service, health improvement service, identification service, or the patient's diagnostic service, or a patient medical cure service? So it's all, which is the problem, and also understand how is it being addressed right now, especially the existing alternatives. So is there any not exactly same as your idea? Is there any existing alternative, right? And number three is your unique value proposition. So number three, I always call it as the heart, right? Which pumps blood into your product and market. That is that one area which connects both, which make it no more differential. It connects to both, right? Yes. So what is the connection between the unique value proposition and the unfair advantage? Sorry, the product and the market fit. What is your unique value proposition you give, right? Is it should be single, clear, compelling. Now, for example, if I say, am I doing like uh, cost effective, content driven education at a verified content. So I'm doing a like live online tutoring with the verified teachers, verified content at a very cost effective price, for example, right? So what is your unique value proposition? What are the areas that you are figuring it around, right? And which should be a part of market and also the product. And number four is solutions, guys. What are the top three features of your solution, right? And understand now there has to be a connection, right? Your problem and solution has to be connected, right? And going forward, the channel. So channel, if you really look at it, how do you connect between your customer segment and the solution? And through value proposition. So if you look at 1, 5, 3, 4, it cuts through, right? How do you travel from 1 towards 5, having 3 traveling it towards 4, right? And number 6, very important. If you really look at it, your cost and the revenue stream is the base of the structure. For your company to be balanced, it has to be a minimum equal. It's okay when you're starting, definitely you will not have revenue, it's will have cost. The intention behind this exercise is to make sure that you understand most of your costing structure. Why I say most is it's better if you can understand all, but until you go back into the ground, you'll not really able to figure out few costing structure. And this is where the mentors come into play. And they have been into the trade. They have worked with a lot of brands, a lot of companies, or they are working for themselves at least, right? So they will know the reality of the cost when you talk about an idea. Validate that, right? Work around with them. And then the revenue streams, right? What sort of a revenue model they are looking at. And when especially what is your revenue stream, right? Now, are you looking at a subscription model? Are you looking at a one-off selling? Are you on a service based? What is the frequency that you are going to charge? And also to understand, like, is what is your lifelong lifespan of a customer? How long a customer can be with you, right? Is your product a one-off selling, or what is your customer acquisition? Speak about this. What are the revenue streams you have? So for example, if you take a platform, right, can be a subscription, can be they can pay for service, right? And you can have an advertisement revenue, but it has to be contextual. For your advertisement revenue to become active, you need to have a lot of users, consumers, and understand through consumer what sort of a revenue is driving, through customer what sort of a revenue is driving, when it customer how much they pay, right? And number 8, right? Key matrices. So, how do you know that you are going on the right path, right? Do you measure the number of customers per month or number of consumers per month? Is it number of visit in your website, right? Or else, if it is completely a service driven, how much of leads you get? So, if you are just a prototype, how many people are interested, right? The survey. So, there has to be some sort of activities which can measure that you are going on right, which is very important is uh, unfair advantage or entry barrier, right? You can call it. What sort of uh, what sort of a unique value proposition you have, or what sort of a unique thing that you have that others don't have? Is it your team? Is it your idea? Is it your approach? Intellectual property would be the least. Just to being practically honest, yes, that is awesome to have, but a startup to have an intellectual property, the process behind that, science behind that is a complete different ballgame. But okay, if you are mentioning intellectual property, be very sure about it. But apart from that, what is your dimension? Is it your experience? Is it your platform? Is it the market they're operating? Right? If you take e-commerce, right? Same solutions like similar shopping carts, similar thing, similar purchasing experience you will have, plus and minus. But the unfair advantage is certain people would have been from an expanded market, consumer market, or product diversification, or grocery driven, vegetable driven. So it will be the same solution, but they have a unique advantage. The unfair advantage by might be the supplier contact, right? So can be anything. So get that very clear. So this is basically the 9 matrix which you will work towards. Right, hope it has helped. So I'm just gonna uh, give you a quick example of Facebook in 2004, right, to understand, uh, just to give you a very quick understanding. So if you look at customer segment, that would have been college students, and specifically early adopters would be Harvard students. This is Facebook in 2004, guys, right? And the problem is online presence lacking and hard to stay in contacts in 2004, right? Yes. Hope all of you can see my screen. Uh, and also the uh, just validating. Hold a sec. I did not know that you all couldn't see the screen. Right. Can you see the screen now, guys? My organizing tech team, can you just communicate? Okay, perfect, perfect. Right. I really don't know how long you couldn't see. Hope just quickly drive back because I was speaking a lot to be keeping this slide up. Right. So this is the slide. Okay, few seconds. Okay, 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 okay. Thank you, my tech team. Right. So yes, uh, cool. Sorry about technical glitch. Uh, so nothing worries when you have an awesome tech team behind, right? Great. Uh, so thank you very much, my team, again, to saving me around it. So coming back, uh, right? Coming back, the college students would be the customer segment, and Harvard students in reality, the early adopters. The problem they were solving in 2004 is online presence lacking and hard to stay in contact. So this is on a basic. There's no much brief event, but I would appreciate you go into detail as possible, right? And the solution, personal profile, and the friends could be connected, right? And the unique value proposition is keep in touch with college friends. And what were the alternatives back then? MySpace for college was already existing there, right? And the from unique value proposition, what was the channel? The past alumni and the college bulletin boards and student network. It's very specifically clear, right? So what was the key metrics they were looking at? 5 million valuation, right? And what was the revenue stream? Advertising. What was the cost? Development and hosting, because there was no major marketing cost because it was very college driven. Oh, they were very clear about what's the target market. So what is very important is you build an idea, build a product, measure data. So when you have an idea, where you learn and you have an idea, you build a product, you measure through data, again learn. So this is a continuous cycle, guys. So today could be an experience which we are trying our best to bring it to you. And okay, now assumptions, right? So one reality is if you are feeling this, you are actually feeling this out of a huge assumption, right? Right. Okay. So don't worry, guys. Like this is basically the lean canvas. If you can't see the any letters in it, cool. I'll make sure that this is shared as well. So test all your assumptions, right? How bad is assumption sometimes? Oh, how not so nice is assumption can be nice as well. But coming back into the context of it, it's like the first three letters of the assumption, right? So let's make sure that's all validated. Now, when you have right tick, green tick is basically you have validated it. So again, bringing back the experience from Michael Monasinger, go to EPFS community, tell this is your idea, and see how much they're reacting. Probably have a chat with your team. So see if you have a potential customers, have a Zoom call with them today, right? And try to understand how the verticals works. So please try to tick as much as green, so that if it is not green, try to re-engineer, right? This is where the teamwork comes. This is where the discussion of mentorship was driven to, because there is mostly the mentors is not going to give you ideas, right? So they are going to have a discussion about validation. discussion about what's the direction you should move, because you are the king, you are the person behind the idea. It's just that you need certain direction and validation to be improved, right? Cool. So this is the complete evolving vision behind it, right? So guys, like do as much as possible, and we will be sharing a link with you. Let me see if I can share that as well right away, just to understand how it works, right? Give me a sec. We are towards the end of the session, so I'm just gonna stop and share the screen again. Um, just making sure. Hope you can. Right. Uh, just again, sorry guys, I'm revalidating with my tech team. My tech team can see the website, right? Build your lean canvas. Yeah, good. Okay, perfect. Right. Okay. So now this link will be shared with you guys. So you just go into this link, and there are a lot of few video explanations as well if you want to go and revisit the ideas behind it. So basically, create the business that work, understand your customer, understand the business, complete the lead canvas. So let's get started. Please click on do the exercise, right? And when you go to the do the exercise, it has, this is the model. So there's an example given, like the example we discussed. There's an example given how, what are the basic way of uh, the lean canvas, what are basic revenue stream, high matrices, so key matrices, personalized, all this is given in a very compelling format. Now like tackle your lean canvas. So please type what is the problem here, right? So accessibility to the knowledge, right? For example, access, you write in all detail, and there's a lot of explanation. When you save your work, it will generate you a PDF which will fill your lean canvas, right? So whatever you fill there will be formatted into a lead canvas, right? And all these explanation document will be yours. So you can share among your team. So if you see the last page when you fill, that will be your lean canvas which is filled, right? So make sure that you work around this. And so this is that something we have the textiles has put it up. So this has to be utilized. So since we are on a virtual environment working up, right? Okay, I have a live comment as well. Yes. Okay. So there's this, since you're working in the virtual environment, please make sure that we make use of these tools. Normally, in our other environment, we would have been going in terms of the giving you the lean canvas model, and mentors would be sitting with you and working around. So probably what you can do is share a link, or just get your lean canvas, half baked lean canvas when you go into your lean the mentors, or while you're having with the mentors, while you're having a call, or most of the mentorship is handled in Zoom call. So you can share the screen with them. What do you think, where the problem is, you can discuss, right? And I'm pretty sure the mentors also doing a great job in to give you the knowledge, right? So that's pretty much, guys. I don't want to take much further time. I wanted to, as I always say, I wanted to keep the live session as short as possible and give a lot of time for reflection. So I call this is knowledge download. So we are trying to give you a knowledge download. So it's time for you to reflect and practice, right? So yes, this is all available information out there. So I just want you to take through a complete run through. Right, guys, please get back to Discord, right? So let's get our communication going. If you have any questions, please tag me and put it there as well. Let's get the team going. Again, thank you very much for coming on board to have the experience of COVID-19 Startup Weekend Sri Lanka, fighting to get the solution from our end, what we can do, right? Zumba, right? So, and also, guys, one message: if anyone of you have a problem with teams, they have not formed the teams, or if you want to have more members into your teams, please immediately speak to our wonderfully equipped organizers, right? So they are on your like fingertip away or a one tap away in Discord. Get them supporting you. Get it sorted. Don't wait, because it's all what you experience matters. So to have a great experience, you need to have a great team, or at least a team formed with minimum number, as we discussed. Please get it going. Please get to organizers and get your communication sorted, right? Uh, and also, I will also share the link in the announcement channel. The whatever the activity, the building, the lean canvas link in announcement in a short while. Yes, once this is done, we are going to get to Discord as right. Thank you very much, guys. Wish you all the very best. Have an exciting learning experience. Have a great time with mentors. I'm the reason this is again supposed to go for an hour plus. I've just kept it as short as possible. So get ready, get your mentors planned, get your team organized, get into the mentor rooms right now. Soon after this call, the organizers will help you to get into the mentor rooms. So keep it going. So have quality time with mentors, ask questions, and listen for mentors, right? Like get the maximum out of mentors. Thank you very much, guys, again and again. Wish you all the very best. Have a wonderful weekend. Let it be a great kickstart of a Saturday morning. Signing you from all of you. Thank you.